Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom. Welcome back to another Disney Lorcana market update video. We've got some exciting stuff happening on the Lorcana front today. We're going to talk a little bit about a new event that's scheduled. We're going to talk about the Japan release. We're going to get into a few market things, not much on the actual price side of things. Did want to report the expected values really quick because I know a lot of you guys look forward to that. As of this morning, we're looking at about $183 for the first chapter. Floodborne is about $104. Inklands is down at $90. That one's actually gone down quite a bit. Not over the last day, but over the last couple of weeks since I've kind of last reported it. Urso's Return is still sitting at about 69. Shimmering Skies is about 73. And then Azurite Sea is holding very strong at 121. So obviously yesterday was the first day of big box release there. People are starting to get their hands on their products. I'm sure not all targets are stocked yet, and so there's still many more to come in terms of singles as relates to Azurite Sea. But overall, prices are in a very healthy spot. Especially look at that first chapter box price, guys. Down our expected value down to $182. So definitely not in a spot where you should open a first chapter booster box whatsoever. Those should probably remain sealed from here on out, unless we get some sort of reprint and drives that price down. But at the $300 going rate or whatever it is, just does not make sense to open. You're gonna get rinsed. You should definitely just go out and buy singles for the first chapter. Now, if you're able to get your hands on the Black Friday product, open that. That's fair game. Makes a ton of sense to open. I actually have a video coming out this weekend of a box that I just opened, and I did great. I didn't pull an enchanted, but I did absolutely phenomenal in terms of expected value. So definitely recommend $39.99 opening that product for Black Friday. But that is your expected values as of right now. Moving on to kind of trending news and updates on the Lorcana front, there is going to be a last chance qualifier. If you're in NA or you're looking to compete in the NA Continentals, there's going to be a last chance qualifier in Anaheim. Looks like this event is on January 10th through the 12th, starting on Friday the 10th. And you're essentially it's gonna give you a chance to earn your way into play for Continentals. So I'm gonna post this link on the description of the video. It is in Anaheim is where this event is located. It's going to go on sale here the 29th, so just in a couple days. It will be on sale to get your ticket. It's $90 to enter. You can see here 8 p.m. is when it goes on sale. I'm not sure time zone wise how that relates. I'm Central Time Zone. Not sure if that's updated to my time zone. Maybe if you're in Pacific at 6. I don't know. Could be local time. But at the end of the day, it is on sale, and it is going to be in Anaheim. So anyone who's in Cali or close that wants another chance to get the opportunity to win a Golden Mickey and then play at the North American Championship, then get the opportunity to go to Worlds. Lot of money on the line here, $90 to enter, and gives everyone another chance. I have no doubt that this event's going to sell out immediately. And there's going to be some people who thought they were out of the running that are going to get a chance, and that makes me really happy. Some people who have maybe gone to 2, 3, 4 of the challenge events, maybe bubbled out, never made it to the final round to get the invite. This is going to give them a chance, and I hope we get some really cool success stories of people who, they got close, they never got across the line. This, last opportunity comes up, and it gives them the opportunity to play for Continentals, North American Championship, play for Worlds. That'd be an awesome story to hear. So be on the lookout for that, guys. I know not too many of you guys are real serious players that watch my channel, but I did want to at least make anyone aware of it who happened to miss it. There is another event that is going to be happening. So shout out to Eventbrite and PPG for putting this on, and Ravensburger for getting some more people in there. So pretty cool event. And then just for anyone who hasn't seen it, the events for the North America Championship, let's see here. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm not sure because this says the North American Championship is January 10th through the 12th. So does the last chance qualifier, does it just happen on the 10th, right? And then it rolls into the actual championship? I'm not sure because there's 32 spots that are still available. So maybe this happens on Friday, then it rolls into the event. I'm not sure. I'm obviously not attending. So do your research, find out what's happening there. Because if you go to the North American Championship, it has the exact same dates, and it's in Anaheim as well. So just a heads up to look out for that. But just for anyone that missed it, I did a whole video about the EU getting these promos, and obviously I assume they were going to be the same for the NA North American Championship, which they are. You have a hollow or a cold foil enchanted invited to the ball promo. You have a Cold Foil Cusco promo. Or not promo. Or I guess, yeah, it is a promo. You have an Elsa's Ice Palace promo. You have a Baymax, which is, I mean, this card is just awesome. Like, this card is so freaking cool. I wish this card was an Azurite C so bad. This card is going to be so limited, and it's so freaking awesome. So, shout out to that. You get some sleeves, and you get the Baymax playmat. Obviously, you get your Golden Mickey as well. And here's the breakdown of kind of what goes where. So last chance qualifier is Friday the 10th, it looks like, and then I guess it'll roll into the main event after that. So it's just kind of a 1 day, $90. 32 flights of 32 players will play simultaneously. That's a packed event, a jam-packed. You're gonna be playing some games. You're gonna be man, you're gonna be banging through them. Okay, so that is it on the last chance qualifier event for those of you who didn't know. And then some real on more like really exciting news and just exciting things going on in Lorcana. Because once again, I know that whenever things like when you look at the greater TCG space as a whole right now, Magic I think is doing really well from what I understand. It seems like the boxes are selling out. Seems like stores are getting a lot of players for Magic, and Magic is having kind of a renaissance, which is awesome. Good for Magic. So Magic is doing really well. Pokemon's most recent release, Surging Sparks, I think it's at like over $200 a booster box, which is absolutely insane. The Pikachu chase in there is like, I think $500 last I checked. May have moved since then. And so like there's a lot of really exciting stuff going on in the TCG space. And Lorcana's pretty slow right now, right? We're kind of in this lull between big competitive events, and there's not the same amount of collectors as there are for Pokemon as there is for Lorcana right now. And that's just a statement of fact, right? Pokemon's huge, Magic's huge, they've been around forever, and even it seems like a lot of the TCG people have navigated to One Piece more so than Lorcana from just a pure like collector standpoint, and I think just the like core TCG group fancies that a little bit more. Now I could be wrong on that. Obviously Lorcana has a huge player base. They've got a ton of collectors. I'm not here to say that it's minimal to what they've done at all, but there's just all these other pockets that are really hot right now, and Lorcana is kind of slow. Now Azurite C is doing very well, but when you look at some of the other boxes, especially like Ursula's Return, not doing very well. Shimmering Skies is very cheap. And some of the cards, they just don't have a lot of movement on them. So like if you look at the Elsa, only a couple sales here and there, and that's the same for a lot of the top cards. So I say all of that to remind us to take a step back and really think of what's at play here. First and foremost, Lorcana is going global, right? So this is a company between Ravensburger and Disney that started the game in Europe and NA, English-speaking countries. They rolled it out. We're a year in, and it's had a ton of success. Now they're taking it global, right? They're moving over to Asian countries that we know they're rolling out in China. They already rolled out in Australia, which isn't an Asian country, but same in terms of global expansion. And then we have some details here that we're going to get into about the Japan release, which is really exciting. So you've got to think, guys, we are still early stages. We are just now getting started in terms of the actual growth of the game and the expansion of the overall market. And so we have some details on the rollout of Japan, which is going to be starting in January of 2025. Something cool, they will be getting the first chapter, which is awesome. So you'll be able to, should you want to collect in different language variants or something like that, you'll be able to go out and get an Elsa in Japanese, or Mickey, whatever your chase is, you'll be able to go out and get them in Japanese, which is really cool. Japanese will be getting the full suite of products. Japan will be getting the full suite of products, so they'll be getting booster boxes, they'll be getting sleeves, they'll be getting mats, they'll be getting starter decks. The only thing I don't see is troves. Not sure if they're getting troves or not, but they will be getting the full suite. Apart from that, in terms of product, they will have their unique language on there. You can see the Japanese characters on the card. Other than that, art and everything else is going to remain exactly the same. So no difference in stats, no difference in lore, no difference in overall design or art. All of that is going to remain the same. Just simply the change in characters so they can have it in their language. But they will be getting the full suite of products like I mentioned, and that will be starting in January. Now, something that's cool, guys, that's going to happen here is they're going to continue. You can see some of the cards here in Japanese font. Excuse me. Obviously, they look very similar to the same ones in English, just different characters, right? You can see the backs are the same, artwork is the same, everything is identical in terms of the art on the cards. There's a close up of Elsa for us, gorgeous as ever. One of just the most iconic cards in Lorcana. But here's what's interesting, guys: their release schedule. So starting in January. I assume the one is like months here. So January, they're going to be getting the first chapter. Now I don't know what these down here are. Maybe it's just putting it in different, like maybe this is Chinese and Japanese. I don't know. But they're getting the first chapter in January. They're then getting Rise of the Floodborn in March. So every 2 months they're going to be getting a new set. That sets them up for Into the Inklings in May, and then I assume July. What is that? September, November. They'll probably be caught up through Azurite Sea, I guess, as of November of next year, so a year from now. I'm not sure if as new releases come out, so whenever Set 7 comes out, if it's going to come out, it's probably going to come out in January. Is it going to drop with the first chapter there, or is that then they're going to be a year behind? Because that's going to take them a while to catch up. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not sure, but it does say first chapter in January, Rise of the Floodborn in March. Focused on boosters, starter decks, sleeves, and playmats. There's no mention of gift sets or tropes. So I missed the gift set side of things, but it does look like they'll be getting everything else. And then every 2 months, plans to have a combined release with the English version in the future. Okay, so maybe when January does come, they'll get the new set as well, have a combined release with English in the future. Or maybe that's when they get caught up. But they will be getting some organized play promos. They'll be getting their lore counters. They'll be getting their pins. They're getting their full release. And then why not? They get the Moana 2 movie promo as well. I've been complaining about not getting this thing for months, and I'm going to keep complaining. It looks like for select theaters, they're going to get the promo. Obviously, happy for them, sad for me. It is what it is. I'm not seeing an English version of this card yet. I will be incredibly sad if I can't even pay a premium to get one shipped from overseas in English. Like that'll be a feels bad, but nevertheless, very exciting times for Japan. This global expansion of the game, and so that's why you see a lot of fear mongering online of just like sales are down or no one wants these cards or Lorcana's not collectible. The initial wave hit, it's not going to blow up. There's a lot of negative sentiment because while the mouse has a ton of friends and a ton of people that love the mouse, also has a lot of people who hate the mouse, right? And who are not fans of Lorcana just simply because it's Disney. And so you see a lot of that online, not a lot of it, and I don't want to overhype it because there's a lot more good going around in Lorcana than bad, without a doubt. But nevertheless, just, it's worthwhile to take a step back, think about, look, we're in a little bit of this lull right now, but I've been saying if there's cards that you like, to go out and get them. And it's because stuff like this is happening, guys. When you look at the entire picture, you see we have global expansion, right? We're going into new markets. Japan in January, getting the first chapter, going to continue to spread from there. Obviously, Mickey Mouse has a huge footprint in Asia as well as North America and Europe, so it's a worldwide footprint. We know that in terms of the brand and the IP. Obviously, Japan is kind of the kingpin of like TCG and where it all started and its core and the culture there. And so getting Lorcana over there can mean greater things for the entire world as well. If Japan does adopt the product and they get a full rollout, which is going to be really, really cool. And then you think to 2025, we're going to be getting Pocahontas. We're going to have the first Lorcana Challenge events or Continentals and North American Championships, European Championships. We then get into Worlds, which is just going to be a ton of hype at Disney World. So many people are going to be exposed to Lorcana that haven't ever heard of it. They don't even know about it. There's going to be this insane tournament going on. I've been on record that I think that 1 of 1 trophy card, whoever wins Worlds, is going to be one of the most valuable pieces of. In my opinion, it will be the most valuable, but it will absolutely just, as soon as it's awarded, it will be one of the most valuable cards within all of trading card games. It will be the most valuable Lorcana card, bar none. Hundreds of thousands of dollars the second that card is won, without a doubt. And I think it's got the opportunity to get up to millions once Lorcana continues to grow and grows its provenance. You guys got to understand that there's, in terms of like the Disney IP, I mean, we're talking billionaires that are fans of this IP. And so at the end of the day, there's really no limit to how much this can grow. Obviously, we're year one. We're still in the infant stages. We've got to go through these lulls. Ravensburger has to continue to deliver. They've got to deliver good sets that is going to get the collectors in, that's going to get the players in, that's going to be able to marketable and get the entire Disney World in. But I think they're moving in the right direction. Even if you just take my channel as a kind of data point, it's growing tremendously. I'm getting 10 to 15 subscribers every day, more views every day. It's just there's a lot of growth going on in the entire ecosystem. And one great thing, guys, is we don't have Pokemon and Magic and some of these other TCGs have paved the way for Lorcana, but there's never been a Lorcana before. There's never been a trading card game that has the Disney IP that's come to market like this with the amount of just veracity and I guess tenacity that Lorcana has. And we can ride on the coattails of the Pokemon, ride on the coattails of the Magic, and continue to grow this awesome game that's so fun, has iconic characters like this. I look, I know you guys have heard me say it time and time again, but like opening these packs with my family, there is not another TCG that I can do that with that I have any interest in. My daughter and my family has no connection to Pokemon, especially the newer Pokemon. I have no connection to the newer Pokemon. I have no desire to open any of these new sets because there's just no interest there. Now, some of the cards are cool, and I'll pick up some singles here and there. I have no hate towards Pokemon. I've got a bunch of Pokemon sitting right next to me. I love Pokemon. But in terms of opening packs with my family and going about this this hobby, Lorcana is really the only option for me to do it at the scale that I'm doing it at right now, because I can have fun with my family and incorporate them IPs that they know. And I've told the story over and over again, but dating back to the very first pack of Lorcana that I opened just on a whim because my friends were talking about it, we picked them up at Target. We opened the first pack and there was an uncommon Snow Queen Elsa in there, and my daughter was blown away. Elsa, Daddy, Elsa. She was just hyped up that her favorite character was on a card, and the rest is history. Here we are a year later, right? Absolute chaos. But like that she's never going to open a pack and be excited to see Pikachu, at least right now. And so Lorcana, I'm not opening One Piece. I don't want a bunch of waifu stuff. Magic, obviously some ghouls and creatures, not for me. So Lorcana, and I think there's a lot of people like me out there who have, and I know a lot of you do, you've shared that sentiment that like this is really the only card game that makes sense right now. And that's not to, once again, that's not to hit on any of the other ones. Just in my current circumstance, this is the trading card game that makes sense. I think they're doing a great job, and there's so much exciting stuff to come in 2025 and then 2026. Looking at Worlds, and are not 20, but Pixar rather. Like I cannot wait. And that's like my son's gonna be older by that point. He's gonna be like 4 or 5, and he loves Toy Story. So we get that Buzz Lightyear enchanted, we get that Woody enchanted. Like Pokemon just can't do that for me because I don't need a Flareon with some gems above its head and it's 170th art. Like that just doesn't do it for me. But having the first enchanted for Buzz or Woody or whatever, in combination with the fact that it's a really fun game, and I fully plan to get my family on board with like the playing side of things once my daughter gets a little bit older. She just turned 6, doesn't really understand the mechanics of the game. That's fine, we'll wait on that. But like family game night, like it will be Lorcana for us, and it's going to be a blast. And I just cannot wait to continue to see the game grow, in combination with the fact that if you have any doubt about like there's been a few comments over just the time that my channel has existed is like Disney's gonna cut lists the second they don't like what they're seeing. People don't like Azurite Sea, they're gonna cut Ravensburger out, Lorcana's dead, blah blah blah, which obviously that's blasphemy, right? There's a ton of traction behind the game. They're getting global expansion. They have a multi-year roadmap. We heard about Steve Warner talking about the viewpoint that they're looking at this game. They're talking about a 30-year project plus. Like there's no signs that it's in any danger whatsoever. But if you needed any sort of additional insight on that, let's see if I can't pull it up here real quick. I might have to go to the regular Lorcana thread. I meant to have this pulled up beforehand. I apologize. Let's see if I can't find it really quick. Now, this is a terrible picture. I apologize. Let me see if they don't have a link to the actual... Here we go. Perfect. So D23, and I'm not familiar with this. Maybe a lot of you guys are. I've mentioned this many times before. I live in the Midwest. We never went to Disney as kids. I don't have any sort of deep connection with Disney in terms of like the theme parks and the brand overall. Love a ton of the movies. Obviously, share that with my daughter, and that's ultimately where my kind of like core fandom comes from on this. But the D23 membership, which is a fan club within Disney, you pay every year to be a part of it. You get some cool, like you can see some of that merch stuff on there. It's got some collector's pins. It's got all sorts of stuff going on there. Look, I'm sure probably 99% of you know what it is. I'm in the minority here, but something cool that's happening this year is they're even incorporating Lorcana into the D23 membership. And I think that is so pivotal because like you got to think about Mickey Mouse and the brand and it's this just masterful piece of art in terms of extracting money from its consumers, and people love this brand. I mean, it's probably the biggest cult following in the world in terms of the fandom behind the mouse. And now in their D23 fan club membership, you're going to be getting a Lorcana card with your membership. That speaks to how deeply entrenched these two kind of brands are when you think of like Ravensburger, Disney, and then coming together within Lorcana. They're tying it into their entire brand. You see it at the parks. They talked about they showed their artworks when they were announcing a new park overseas. Lorcana is deeply entrenched in the greater overall Disney brand, and so that speaks to the possibilities. I mean, I've hinted at before, like, what if you turn on Disney Plus and there was a freaking Lorcana show on there, kind of like similar like Arcane for League of Legends, obviously Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all of these bigger TCGs have like an animated series. Not so much Magic, that's one that doesn't. But like, what if you just turn it on and they had your favorite characters, whether it's Elsa or Minnie or whoever, just intertwined in these different unique storylines that we haven't seen before, and they're glimmers and they're in the Azurite Sea or whatever, right? Like the Great Illuminary. Disney's great at telling stories, and when stuff like that starts to happen, we're gonna see this game progress at an unbelievable rate. And so I feel very compelled when we're at a time like this where not a lot of stuff's selling. Like if you pull up TCG Player, and we'll just look at like Elsa's the biggest, like probably the most well-known card within Lorcana, right? In terms of just like casual, everybody knows about it. When you look at the sales volume on this card, today's the 26th. We had a sell on the 25th, 24th, 23rd, and a couple on the 20th. So over the last week or so, you're looking at maybe like 5-6 copies sold. That's just not a lot of cards. When you look like the Pokemon, that Pikachu is probably selling like 100 a day or something. Let's see here. I don't even know where to start to look at. Let's go to Pokemon Surging Sparks. I just don't know what it's called. Pikachu EX SIR. Let's see here. Let's just look at this. Zero. Oh shit. Wait, what? There's no way this is right. Am I filtered like cold foil or something? Let's just pull up this. So the 26th. So today alone, it looks like there's been 3 that have sold for over $400. 25th, 24th. I mean, you're selling like 10 plus a day here for this card. Now it's very hot, but once again, when you look at like Elsa and things like that, it can just seem like things are moving slow. And I just want to remind you guys that it is not. We are very, very early. Everything is trending in the right direction, and that's, once again, I think we need some new art. I think the Enchanted, I love how hard it is to pull. I think the cards are the most gorgeous cards in any TCG. I love what they're doing there, but I want additional arts. I want to be able to pull something in the mid-range, where maybe it's once every booster box we get some sort of alt art or whatever, full art, you name it. It doesn't, it can be unique to Lorcana. I trust everything they've done with the art thus far, so I think they can find a good middle ground there. But I think we need something between Legendary and Enchanted. I think we need another piece for collectors. Now, that's just my own personal opinion, but I think you would see box values stay a lot more consistent should we have pulls like that in there. And then that gets people like me more reason to open boxes, because I want to chase these other art types, and gives more players for the singles because I'm going to be selling them, right? And so I think there's a good equal ground there, or middle ground between, Lorcana is for the players. They've said that from the start. They want people to be able to play the game. They've designed an amazing game, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. If you haven't played it yet, I recommend you try it with you and your partner, your kids, whatever. It's a ton of fun. Go to a league night. It's a great experience. But there has to be collectors in this thing as well. It's a trading card game. It has value. Giving us more reasons to open the box with different art types is going to put more singles onto the market, because we're going to be selling off the rares and the super rares and the legendaries that we don't want or we don't want to collect. They're going to hit the open market, and that's going to give the players more space to expand their play sets and their decks, etc. And I think it's just a win-win for everybody. So hopefully they continue to develop and do stuff like that. But so far they have hit on everything that they needed to in terms of the first chapter reprint, monitoring that now to where they're doing some small like individual Black Friday releases and things like that, starter decks. Like they're just doing a really, really good job overall in terms of delivery. They've got a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of untapped market as it relates to Lorcana. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to give you guys some reassurance and kind of take a step back, look at the bigger scale and the bigger picture. They are incorporating this into everything that they do, whether that's artworks, rolling out new parks, whether that's a promo card involved in the D23 membership for the upcoming year, whether that's Worlds being at Disney World, whether that's Continentals being at Disneyland, European Continentals being at Disney Paris. You know, there's just like, there's so much going on as it relates to Lorcana, and just in times like this where things might seem a little bit slow, if you're feeling that, you know, I just want to give you some confidence to take a step back, look at the bigger picture. And look, that's not to say to go out and buy, you know, get a new credit card and go spend a bunch of money on Lorcana. That is not it. The way to win in Lorcana is do not get leverage. Do not get leverage at all buying these trader cards. These are high risk trading card assets. So if you go out and buy an Elsa, do not do it on leverage, and plan to be around for a while. Buy cards that you like, whether that's the Elsa, whether that's a common and uncommon, a promo, whatever. Like, there's all sorts of cheap promos, guys. You can collect Lorcana and in a very, very affordable way right now. And that's, if you start with like things like promos, that sets you up for success. Let's look at some of the promos here really quick. Disney Lorcana promo cards. Let's go low to high to just look at some of the cheaper ones. I mean, we've got promo cards. You've got Null at 40 cents. You've got Hidden Inkcaster at 49. Sendy, a card that I've been on record, I think is a really, really good way to start a collection. Below $1, guys, for a Cinderella that's cold foil that has some unique design in the text box. Like, you can go in, you can go about it however you want. Just the key fundamentals are don't get leveraged, buy what you like, and then take your time. All we have is time, guys. We're year one, right? Or I guess start of year two technically, but take your time. All we have is time. There's some very, very affordable, really, really cool cards out there right now. Collect what you want to collect, be around for a while, and at the end of the day, that's how you're going to win within Lorcana. Don't wait for the next boom cycle to come where, you know, it's covered on, you know, the news or something. It picks up a bunch of steam and a bunch of boomers come in or something. You know, whatever Black Swan event's going to be the next hype cycle. Don't fall victim to that. Don't wait for Elsa to go back up to 1,500 to buy back in. Buy the cards that you want to collect now. Buy only the cards that you want to collect, so that way should you see a retrace and the prices go down 10-15% for the individual cards, that way you don't feel it, right? You can be price agnostic, and those little changes in prices will not impact your holdings or what you have in terms of your individual collection. But overall, guys, I think we're in an amazing spot. Very, very exciting times ahead. Some really, really cool stuff going on. And then to end this video out, I got a huge PSA return back. I have a video coming out on the channel for that, but I'll just show you guys a couple really cool cards that I got here. So leading off, I got 2 Gem Mint 10 Stitches. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that this is one of my favorite cards in all of Lorcana in terms of collecting. Artwork is gorgeous. Nicholas Cole did an amazing job on this card. It's the first trophy card ever awarded in Lorcana, the first enchanted card ever awarded in Lorcana. It was before like it had like a huge tremendous boom, so there's like somewhat of a limited quantity. It's not, you know, not to say that there's not a ton out there, because there is, but like much more limited than some of the other set champs and some of the set cards. And so I just remain steadfast that this is an amazing card to have in your collection. It's also very hard to grade. Not even half the time does it get a Gem Mint 10. Next up, another favorite of mine that I've talked about a lot recently is the D23 2024 Brave Little Tailor Mickey Mouse, the first enchanted foil, excuse me, Mickey Mouse that we ever got in terms of the Brave Little Tailor art. And I'm a huge fan of this card, so we got quite a few Gem Mint 10s of those. And then let's see here, what else did we get? I apologize for the coughs, guys. We got some promos. We got our Mickey Mouse Musketeer in a 10. We got a discard in a 10, which is really cool. I'm an air collector. I collect everything, but I do enjoy airs quite a bit. Let's see here. We have some other cool stuff. We got the Vanellope in a 10. We got the Jet Sam promo in a 10. We got the Mickey Mouse in a 10. Let's see here. We got some other Enchanteds. We got the Beast in a tin, which is really cool. We got the Alice in a tin from set 2. We got the Simba in a tin. We got the Cinderella Stout-Hearted in a tin. We'll just show this whole stack and then we'll be done, guys. We got the Ursula D23 in a tin. Deceiver. We got the Oswald in a tin from T23. Got my Peter Pan text error in a tin, which is really cool. We got the Ursula Deceiver of All in a PSA 10. Apologize, guys. I'm dying here. Got some sort of like allergies going on, and I've been ranting for 30 minutes, so that'll do it. All right, little H2O. I got a One Piece promo. I mentioned this in my video that's going to be coming out about the PSA opening. But if anyone's interested, if you collect One Piece and you're interested in the PSA magazine promo and a PSA 10, let me know. I got this card from my PSA subscription. Got a graded, got a 10. I have no desire to collect those cards. So if any of you guys want it, be more than happy to take like 10% off the market rate, and we'll just do a private transaction. So reach out to me if you are interested in that at all. And then we have a couple Pokemon cards in here. We got a Typhlosion V. We have a Master Ball Rhydon from Japanese 151. And then we have the Charizard V-Star Secret Rare, Rainbow Rare from Brilliant Stars in a 10. And then we did get, we got a cool 10 here. It is a Typhlosion from the Japanese Neo Destiny Premium file back from way back in 2000. We're able to get a 10 for the Typhlosion, which is really, really cool. So, once again, I have no hate towards Pokemon. It just does not make sense for me right now. I know there's a lot more liquidity in that. There's a lot more money to be made at Pokemon, and if that's what you're going for, that is definitely the place to do it. I personally just love collecting Lorcana, and so that's why I remain here. Not really in the business of chasing a buck or buying something just for it to go up by any means. Obviously, that is a byproduct of this hobby. Not to act like I'm not here to make any money, because I am. But at the end of the day, I just love what Lorcana is doing, and that is why I choose to transact and collect and spend my time here. So, with that being said, guys, a little 31-minute banger out of nowhere. Did not plan on that, but here we go. So, hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Please let me know your thoughts. I just think this D23 inclusion of Lorcana in combination with everything else is just, it's a game changer. And everyone who knows about Disney and is deeply entrenched is going to know about Lorcana, and that is a whole heck of a lot of people. And this is going to be their first inclusion into Lorcana. And then, once again, and I'm not going to go on another rant here. I'm going to end the video because it's already been too long. But you think about this Moana 2 promo, and then you put like a 10-year life cycle on Lorcana, and you think about all the iconic Disney movies coming out, whether it's the Mufasa on December 20th, the Mufasa live-action movie, or you think about like another Toy Story, or even just some new IP that we don't even know about yet, and Lorcana gets entrenched into all of these releases. Like, just it's the reach that Lorcana has is different than every other TCG, Pokemon included. Pokemon paved the way, and Pokemon will probably always be the top dog. But no other TCG apart from Lorcana has the reach that Lorcana does, and I think that that's important to remember. That includes Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, etc. No one knows. None of those IPs are known. You probably combine them all, and no one knows those as much as the mouse. So, with that being said, guys, I am out of here. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.